если
Да,
там...
ничего, бывает, вывернулись, все в порядке. Вы будете комфортнее на русском или на английском сегодня?
Мне все равно, я телесериал смотрела на русском, поэтому я что-то на русский перешла.
Какой сериал, если не секрет?
«Кровавая душеса». Я давно русских сериалов не смотрела.
Я не в курсе.
На Prime Video. Можно, я всем своим русским людям порекомендовала. Я только что еще с другом говорила в другой комнате, поэтому на русском говорила.
Понятно. Интересно, это жанр какой, детектив или какой-то...
Исторический, про Дарью Салтикову. Это была какая-то душеса. Я даже не знаю, я историю не знаю, ни России, ни Украины так особенно. Ну, она церкви много денег дала или что-то там. Потом, я тут по интернету читала, что они ее даже сравнили с Контессой Баффери, что она, наверное, ну я еще до сезона 2 не дошла, поэтому не знаю, кого там еще мочить, не мочить. Интересный телесериал.
Ну, сейчас за последние, наверное, лет 10, может быть, 8, 9. В России вообще сериалы стали снимать на уровне «Что-то случилось». И много хороших отзывов. И даже до начала войны как-то Netflix покупал несколько сериалов российских, например. Интересно.
Да, я заметила, я даже подумала, что как-то интересно, ну, культура начала как-то расти, а потом вот эта война, и мне-то ничего не понятно, потому что я тут сижу, и ну, жалко просто, потому что там как, ну, и те свои, они друг друга там мочат вовсю, и мне это как-то не нравится, что там война и политика, мне кажется, что политика, она как бы ответственна за большинство драк и за расизм, за все остальное, потому что люди простые, они глупые бывают или что, и вот так вот все происходит.
Наверное. И очень легко людей друг против друга как-то вот настроить, особенно если это чем-то подтвердить, да, и как-то вот говорить об этом, да, очень легко.
Ну да. Я вам хотела что-то сообщить, и это очень западло. Мне просто вот сейчас меня только развеселил друг, и этот сериал, но это мне очень-очень неприятно было. Помните, я вам говорила, мне украли деньги. Baby, if you can't be quiet, should I leave the room or should you leave the room? Because I thought you were going to be chill, like you're not here, but you are here. Он по-русски, кстати, не говорит. У меня украли, когда welfare, когда... Мы можем на английский даже перевести.
Если хотите, да, давайте, как удобно.
When they stole my food stamps, like a week later, my friend, he sometimes buys me groceries and stuff, and like he stays over here sometimes. He went to a deli in this area, and they stole his food stamps. This is not...
Is it through the machine? I heard that now they're installing something in the card reader, so whenever a person
exactly,
pay,
but yeah, this is true. And this the third time they did it to me. Is the second time they did it to him, or this is like the fourth time I think they did it to me, and the third time they did it to him. And I think that's like unacceptable. And also welfare, they stopped at first. They were reimbursing you for the cash that they steal and the food stamps. Now they don't. Now they only reimburse you for the cash. Food stamps, they don't give them back. So you have to find a way to eat now. If that happens to you, you have to find a way to eat, you know, because I mostly eat off my food stamps. So that was really bad. This isn't the end of it. Okay, now everyone's in here. Yeah, what happened, somebody stole, I ordered something, it was very special from Best Buy. It was $500. I actually had to look around to get it. It was a Nintendo Switch 2. It was gonna be like for maybe my kid's birthday or just end of summer. It was very, very special. And first time, like, I couldn't get it, but then somebody stole it from me from the lobby. And Best Buy, they don't just reimburse you for this from the lobby, which brings me back to
how long it takes to restart the system, because they not reimburse you, but they have to provide you help in getting back to your account, getting back to your card, like somehow.
Are you talking about the welfare money or the
Yeah.
The welfare money? I think it's ridiculous because it's actually like a state problem, and people just do it, and they just, I don't know if they just do it in this neighborhood either, because I have a feeling, they know exactly who does it, they just don't care or something, and they just gave me a new card basically, because it was the money they gave me back after a month was $140. They gave it back, but they stole $500 in food stamps from me, and it was a very, very hard month. I had to borrow money, had to budget, and I have a hard time getting food to begin with, because I told you, I know you're saying you don't believe me, and I think you ought to believe me, but somebody's poisoning my food, so it's hard enough to eat, and again, you were saying I'm trying to keep the conversation level, because again, I don't want anything traumatic today. I don't have anyone to watch my child or anything. I know they're FBI agents, and they stole $500 from me from a Best Buy delivery, and now I have to go to the police and make a report for Best Buy to escalate it, so maybe I could get a replacement of this item or a refund, because they won't do it otherwise. And I'm mad at Best Buy, because you would think they would have some sort of policy where they bring it to your door or ask for a code, because other places bring it to your door, ask for a code, and I thought that's what would happen. They would ask for a code and bring it to my door, but they left it so I don't know who this delivery person is. I'm not paranoid. It could very well be that they all conspired or something, but I know I don't have that item. I know they left it on my first floor and somebody took it, and I know it's pretty casual for these people to take my stuff. Sometimes they give it back to me later after I already get the replacement, but usually it just goes missing somewhere. So they're just messing with me all around, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm in a tolerable mood right now because I just took a minute to relax and stuff, but really on top of not being able to explain my physical feelings when I eat something that they put something in, which is the worst of it, really. Or the fact that they're here and they're not supposed to be here.
Question for me, Lona. What makes you sure that this is again FBI, not some fraud-related people? Because I've heard.
I'm sure. What you're asking me is how can I prove it? I'm sure. But what you're asking me is how can I prove it? And I can't really prove it. It's just that everyone knows they are, and nobody really cares, because they'd rather prove I'm mentally ill, and I'm okay, well,
not
where's
saying
that
about
going to take
mental
us?
illnesses at all. It's very common in different neighborhoods. I've heard complaints of that sort, of stolen welfare specifically, and stolen food stamps. People living in Bronx, in Harlem, and in Queens. It's just I don't work.
Well, it would be shocking if the politics actually addressed this issue in its entirety and said, well, half of these crimes, they're actually FBI agents. It would be shocking if people just knew that a lot of this is FBI agents, and it's sort of because it is, not that I could prove it is, but what I can say is, if they ever prove that my neighbors are FBI, first of all, they're taking city money. Oh, they gave me a card, a gift card for the renovations, right? But that's city money, that's taxes for people like me. So they made me think of that. And then they stole this thing that I ordered. Basically, I only ordered it because I had the extra money that they gave me. So, yeah, and people go, oh God, poor you. They have a right to always, it goes beyond being accountable, because the idea is that we're accountable for superficial things like possessions and finances and stuff like that. If these people are watching me all day, what they're trying to do is, like play on my moods, and
With the
that's
stuff
a
that you
dangerous
ordered,
situation. Somebody ought to recognize that,
I'm so sorry to hear about it. Seriously, that's
Again, I'm like not in the mood to escalate because I really don't know who's gonna have the authority and who has the authority to say anything, but that's just
Did
what
you?
it is. I'm
Okay,
not gonna
let's
back
start
down
with
on
the
this
beginning.
either because there's
Did you
nowhere
report
for
it?
me to back off. There's nowhere for me to back down. This is what they should have recognized. Is like they're trying to move me out of my apartment. I don't have anywhere to move,
With the stolen stuff, to start with, have you tried to report it to the store? The store that was supposed to
I
deliver?
did, and they said you have to get a police report. They said claim denied because they took a picture of where they left it. So they said if you get a police report, maybe we'll escalate it and give you a refund. But also, like, if the police has been like here and they've been ignoring all this other crime and stuff, are they going to take the police report? I hope they do. So I'm sitting here thinking, should I bring someone with me? Because that also puts them at odds with what if they ever prove that they were FBI agents, now have that police report saying, well, where did this go? Basically, because you're obviously allowing all this other crime to occur. Is it because you, judged me somehow? Because, I'm not doing any crime. So wouldn't any crime be a priority to you, being your law enforcement agent? But it seems to me their priority would be to get me like unhinged or get me very upset or move me somewhere, or get me sick, So I don't know. That's my thoughts on
I
it.
mean, the question is if it's worth it, if it's important for you because it's your money and your item.
It is super
It's-
duper important to me. It makes me fucking crazy. I'm sorry. It's
No,
super
that's-
duper. It's $500. How do I ever get $500? And that's what I told Best Buy. It would take me like months to like come up with this ever again. I only got this because like they gave me some money and I really like Nintendo and stuff, and I just I know I can't have anything fun or nice unless there's a catch, and that's the way my life just is. And it's sometimes, even when it's tolerable, it's always like this, like I'm always in some sort of state of mind, like what's the catch then, even if and it's not okay. It's really not okay. And it's usually very, very high stress. Like I'm always doing something. I'm always tending to somebody's needs, my own needs, or something
Well,
else.
let's try to see what we can do here. Your building. Is there a security person in your building?
No.
Is there? Do you know the person who delivers stuff? Like, have you seen this person? Can you recognize?
No,
them?
and I'll say that I think that they do, and I mean it because I think so. I think they know them maybe, and it just makes it sad and really conspirational. But I can't really prove it because straight up, like nobody just believes me, like straight up. But say like long-term effects, like what? Well, what are they gonna do with me?
I wonder if it's something that is happening in the whole building. Say.
Oh yeah, they've been
hypothetically-
making it look like that. They've been saying, "Oh, people are stealing our stuff." First of all, but like Anna. Okay, again, like I don't know. I don't want a traumatic experience today, but I can't back off of this. Like they're frauds. They are FBI. They make too much money to live here. So why would they care about their stuff being stolen anyway? They all know each other. I don't know them. It's just something that, like, we're just going to ignore this, Like, we're going to ignore it. Like, I'm trying to ignore, like, the elephant in the room. I only, like, learned this term, like, when I moved here. But, yeah, like, we're going to try to ignore the elephant in the room and do therapy. So I don't even know what to say. Like, I guess I take it like I take life is like I'm like a little animal. Like like the some of the animals, sometimes I think about them like maybe they're aware that they're in a cage, but they have like instinctual needs that they need to tend to. So I'm like that too. I'm like, well, but I gotta eat anyway. Oh, but I gotta get my $500 back. Like, and it's even though they know that like people are cruel and they play games with them and they manipulate them, and they could get sick at any moment. Like, they still have their animal needs. So that's how I am, and I guess I could sit here and do therapy like that because, again, like, why are they stealing from me?
What do you think therapy is doing for this situation? Because of course you're right about the fact that therapy cannot change it for sure. It's just a space for you to maybe.
Well, what do you think you should do?
There is.
Because I didn't steal it.
The question is there anything that you would want to talk about just out loud to help you make next step? To help you
loads and loads of stuff. I wanted also, before we started, I wanted to mention, like, what if, like, you were asking me if I feel like somebody's watching me. What if you feel like somebody's watching you? Do you ever feel like that? Like, what if this, like, I mean, aside from my child being in the room, like,
I mean, that would be something that I would definitely talk about with my probably friends, with my probably therapist, with my probably whoever I got available. I would definitely talk about that. I would share at least with one person that I feel, and whatever I feel. I would definitely need to not keep it in myself because it's very heavy. Thinking that someone's watching all the time, that's a heavy feeling.
I don't know, man. Is it legal too, like, or not? I don't know, man.
Is it legal to watch people? I don't think so, no.
I don't, well, that's how I feel, like, so, like, if there was indeed FBI agents watching me, they would, like, they've been trying in retrospect to come up with, like, a crime that occurred or something, or that, like, because they envision, like, this potential because I'm broke and because I'm helpless, and that makes me so much more angry. And yet the police, they're not really, they feel like this is so casual, because I do believe, like, they should have some transparency. They should let us New Yorkers know exactly what percentage of our population is law enforcement. I think it's way too high. I think there's way too many law enforcement agents in New York, and that's true. And it might be post 9/11 or whatnot, but I actually heard, like, a police officer say that was something to that effect, that, like, post 9/11 there's so many, like, FBI agents.
It could be. I mean, look, just this week, 2 days ago, what happened in this building in town? Have you heard?
With what?
In the building, Midtown, somewhere.
The guy shot the guy with a neurological disorder. He shot some people, and then they found a note on him or something.
And he shot a few police officers as well. And it was Manhattan. It was where, people commute there a lot, people go to work. It was one of those buildings with gazillion floors where they have located offices, a radio station.
Oh yeah, wasn't the UHC the Luigi Mangione shot someone too? Like, wasn't that UHC in Manhattan also?
It was something in there. But
yeah, they have crime there too. Like, I watch this YouTuber sometimes, and he used to do real estate for New York. His name is Cash Jordan. I watch him sometimes. He used to do, like, real estate videos, and then he just started showing off, like, what's happening, why is the real estate not high, and he started doing, like, they're raising the rent, and there's, like, loads of crime, there's, like, shoplifting crime, they're closing this store, they're closing that store, and a lot of that is in Manhattan. Like, so Manhattan's pretty criminal. I also one night I went out, and then my friend told me, there was, like, where I went to, he was worried about me because there was, like, women being stabbed there and stuff. So there's loads of crime in Manhattan too. I'm not saying it's, like, super criminal here. I'm saying they just, like, kind of, like, wash stuff like this under the rug, like, and I feel like that's crime too. Like, picking on poor people's crime too.
It's another reasoning to your statement that there are a lot of law enforcement people, probably because of that. Because in New York,
but they're doing crime. They're gross. They're doing crime. They should go take themselves in and apologize and say, "Oh, my bad. I just thought, I needed." Like they need to. They're like used car salesmen. Like they need to do commissions. They're evil. You ever hear people go, "Oh, used car salesmen, they stink," because they sell you like a wreck. They'll sell you a wreck because they wanted to make a buck because they get commission money too. Okay. Like it's stupid. Like with cops, like when they had a quota, that didn't work. Because then they would go and they would try to like make crime and stuff, So they don't have that anymore. So the other law enforcement shouldn't have that either.
That is why, when you think that, how would I? Because I want to believe that people that are following you, that you believe that are like you under surveillance, maybe it's not you, maybe it's somebody else. Because realistically, what is this that you do?
But who's thinking, like, you're going to say there's something wrong with me again? And that's why I don't like you either. Because, like, there's somebody putting something in my food, and it's, like, so casual for somebody to dump shit in the food. But I'm a human. My kid's a human. I'm a person. Just because you don't like me, because, what, we're different, doesn't mean that I'm not going to get somebody to say that's relatable.
I want to believe that they're not doing it. I want to believe that you're not the target because you are a mom. You're not.
A lot of people don't like moms. That's sort of superficial shit that happens. Like people like judge you like, oh, you had kids young, you don't take care of your kids. If you have an abortion, it's the same way. It's like that. People can be like pricks. Like, they're conceited and politically superficial, and it gets to be like a very, very anxiety ridden, and no one should have to have no privacy,
This is a tough one, really. I really, really hope that you are not the target. I'm just hoping that this was bad luck, bad coincidences, something bad that can be fixed. I understand that it's been like this for a long time, but this is just ridiculous. Seriously, $500 from Best Buy, that's pissing off.
Yeah, and like somebody else would like, oh, that's news to me, but somebody else would sit there and go, oh, she has $500. She's going to be okay. But, like, sometimes I'm not okay. Sometimes sometimes I feel so low from this torture that, like, I'm not even okay enough to say something, So this week I feel almost good. Like, okay, well, I had $500 for you to steal from me, But what if it's, like, literally, like, my last, like, bottle of water or something?
Last money.
Yeah, like my last bottle of water, and I'm sitting here, I have a cold, I don't have vitamin C, like my head feels like on fire, and my son's asleep because and it happens so many times. I'm so sick of this shit.
Yeah. What if something happens and it's very hot outside right now, and you're like, I don't know.
I know, I don't want to be outside. That's why I'm not moving. They should understand that there's no security for me to like have faith in, for me to think, oh, I'll just go live somewhere else. Like there's no, like as stressful as it is with them, like I'm not going anywhere because there's no way. There's nothing like, yeah, like I don't want to be homeless. Like a lot of people, they even like, this is why I think it's sort of dirty, because I knew people like my friend of like my ex-boyfriend from a long time ago. He told me used to be some people would do crime so they could go to jail, and I just read that on the internet again. It made me think of him saying that too, so they could get a meal, so they could get away from being outside. So like I'm so glad I don't have to do that. I'm in an apartment with an AC on,
Yeah. No, me too. Even though, I have AC in a bigger room, not in a smaller one. But I'm trying to manage, I'm trying to navigate, and if I feel too hot, I will just move. And I'm grateful that I have space, to work, to live, and hide from the heat. I get you totally, yeah.
Yeah, well, so, like sometimes I don't even want to mention, like, my bad diet, that, like, I can't even get oatmeal. Like, eggs.
You told me at the very beginning that you want to have it dramatic today, and you felt almost okay except for this part of them stealing the money. Let's do this. When the heat is over and you will be able to go outside without like overheating yourself completely, maybe it's worth to check and file this stolen item for at least that.
I'm gonna do that either today or tomorrow. I'm doing it like this week or like on the weekend. I'm gonna file it. I'm just thinking whether I should take someone with me, because like they always say they're busy, and I don't know if they, you know, if they're gonna take it seriously or not, because it's mail theft.
Look, what if you would bring them this, that like, guys, if you will take it seriously or at least give me the report, I will be able to have my refund, because that's like really.
Yeah, they did it once for me before. But they were also sort of like, I have to file a report, you know.
Well,
so
if this is what's happening in this building, well, what else? Why?
yeah, they did it once for me before because it was the same issue. They wouldn't give me a new toy or a refund. I needed to file a report, and it was that time it was $125 toy. It was like a collector's toy and stuff. And this time it's like $500. So I hope they do file a report because
okay, all
you
right.
know.
And I will follow up on that next week. But hopefully, look, watch your TV show if it makes you feel a little bit better. We taking small steps that are achievable, not the big ones, but the small ones, because that's what can make you last. Look, last week you felt semi-okay because you guys went outside and doing some stuff and your friend was visiting, so it was a little bit more supportive. Like this time, I believe that you have everything to just go there and get this done and have your refund, at least the process of it starting. It takes a long time. Every time some shit is stolen around my area, it takes me forever and a day, like a month, I would say, just to email, and then they get back to you, and then they call, and then they ask those questions again, and then maybe they will proceed the refund. Yes, it takes forever, but at least it will start this process. Those steps will help. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, it's good to see you today, and we'll talk next week. Stay in. Please don't go out. It's extremely hot over there. It's like very bad. Okay?
Okay. Have a nice week. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.